Okay, here you go.
If Father Terry Langford from St. Aloysius and St. Benedict, if he could lead us in our invocation, please.
Certainly. Loving, gracious God, as we begin this new year, we gather in your name and ask for your guidance. We ask that as we make our plans for 2021, that we may always turn to you and seek your wisdom, understanding, and compassion. Loving God, in this time of continuing challenge, we ask you to increase our faith. We ask you to bless all the people of Bullitt County, especially the sick affected by this pandemic and those who lost the battle to this virus and their families who grieve loss. We ask you to guard and guide all those persons making daily decisions that affect our lives and the direction of our county government. In our national and local leaders, your wisdom. We ask you, O God, to bless our actions by your holy inspirations and carry them on by your divine providence and gracious assistance, that every prayer and work of ours may be rooted in your love and love of our neighbor and be brought to completion by your favor. Amen.
Amen. And Father, if you could lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yes, sir. We sure will.
God bless.
Okay. At this time, Sam, can you call the roll?
Officer tagged it,
Yes, sir. Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
but it doesn't match.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rayo,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
These to another shoulder.
all present.
Thank you, Sam. The treasurer's report, treasurer's transfer report, Kenan?
Yes, Judge, that would be a revenue transfer report dated for December the 31st of 2020 for your approval.
Okay.
In form of motion.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Third District Magistrate Laswell to approve the treasurer's transfer report ending December 31, 2020. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rayo,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Presentation and approval of all bills.
Make a motion, we approve all bills. I'll second that.
Got a motion by Fourth District Magistrate Ray Hill, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to approve the bills as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rayo,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Approval, the treasurer's report. Kenan?
I'd sent to you in your packets the appropriation condition report, a fund receipt report, a warrant distribution, a monthly revenue, a long-term liability, and a financial statement through December the 31st of 2020 for your approval.
I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as presented through December 31st, 2020.
Second that motion.
I have a motion by Second District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by First District Magistrate Mitchell to approve the treasurer's report as presented through December 31 of 2020. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Rahal,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Should be right up there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Canan. Approval of the minutes for the January 5th, 2021 meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
I got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by Third District Magistrate Laswell to approve the minutes as presented for the January 5th, 2021 meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rahal.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Sam. At this time, we do have a presentation. I have a proclamation. January is always School Board Month, and I would like to read this proclamation on behalf of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court, honoring the members of the Bullitt County Board of Education. This is the School Board Recognition Month, January 20 of 21. Whereas our community values a quality education as a vital step along the pathway to success for our children. And whereas Debbie Atherton, Daryl Coleman, Linda Belcher, Juanita Neal, and Lisa Hodges contribute greatly to this community through their service on the Bullitt County Board of Education. And whereas these decision makers are responsible for maintaining strong, effective budgetary oversight, high standards for employment, and a safe, well-managed set of school facilities. And whereas these board members are serving our community with integrity, honor, and a commitment to our children's future. And whereas January 2021 marks Kentucky's observation of their contributions through School Board Recognition Month. Therefore, Jerry Summers, Bullitt County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2021 throughout this community as School Board Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to honor Debbie Atherton, Daryl Coleman, Linda Belcher, Juanita Neal, and Lisa Hodges for their service done this day, the 19th day of January 2021 in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you all. Any comments, gentlemen?
I just want to thank them for everything that they do because they've got a big responsibility. And just want to thank them for what they do
Okay,
on a day-to-day basis.
all right. Okay, under old business, we have a second reading for zoning ordinance 20-01, John and Erica Belcher. Either Rob or John, you're both on here. Hello, Rob.
Yes, Judge. This will be the second reading. It's Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 21-01. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from R1 residential to B1 highway business. The property in question is 10.323 acres, more or less, located at 4223 Brooks Hill Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court. And whereas the Fiscal Court disputes and rejects the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for denial of said zoning change, and disapproves and rejects the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and based upon its own findings of fact, determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. And now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth, Kentucky, Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2020Z-21, is hereby changed from R1 residential to B1 highway business. Section 2, this ordinance take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 5th day of January 2021. Given second reading and voted upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 19th day of January 2021.
I'll make a motion I move that fiscal court deny approval of the ordinance as advertised, and the fiscal court uphold the recommendation of the Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission denying the map amendment. That'd be on ordinance 21-01.
Second.
We have a motion by any discussion, further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, we have a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell to adhere to the Planning and Zoning Board's recommendation of denial. A second by Fourth District Magistrate Rayhill. Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rayhill,
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And Ms. Baker, thank you for your efforts and your time here.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Fiscal Court.
You're welcome. Okay, under old business again, the second reading and action is requested on the budget amendment 20-08, the fourth one.
Yes.
Jeanette?
Ordinance number 20-08, page number 1 of 2, amendment number 4 in summary form. An ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Bullitt has realized unbudgeted receipts from the general, road, jail, federal, EMS, forest, and dispatch funds, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, the budget for fiscal year 2020-2021 is amended to Section A, increase the receipts of the general, road, jail, federal, EMS, forest, and dispatch funds by $1,792,402.55 and include unbudgeted receipts from account code 01, general fund, $433,493.94, account code 02, road fund, $119.52, account code 03, jail fund, $955.41, account code 07, the federal fund, $553,178.84, account code 09, EMS fund, $13,138.45, account code 12, forest fund, $139.18, account code 77, the dispatch fund, $791,377.21. Section B is to increase the expenditure accounts. Account code 01, general fund, $437,683.78. Account code 02, road fund, $119.52. Account code 03, jail fund, $955.41. Account code 09, EMS fund by $562,127.45. Account code 12, forest fund, $139.18. Account code 77, dispatch fund, $791,377.21. Please note the amendment is in summary form. However, you may request to view the amendment in its entirety in the County Treasurer's Office during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Section 2, the amounts adjusting the receipts and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes, given the first reading of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the first day of December 2020, signed by Gerald L. Summers, County Judge Executive, and approved as to the form and classification on the 16th day of December 2020, signed by Robert Brown, the State Local Finance Officer, given a second reading on January the 19th of 2021. Action is requested for passage.
Thank you.
Put in form of motion.
And I'll second that motion to approve the amendment to the budget 20-08. The fourth time, First District Magistrate Mitchell, second by myself. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rahal,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
motion carried.
Kenan, do you want to catch your breath for a minute or do the next one, or we'll do the rest of the,
Oh, I'm ready.
okay.
It's in summary form, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. We'll go right ahead. We have a second one here for our, another budget amendment coming up.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
It is in summary form, and it's an ordinance number 20-08, page 1 of 2, amendment number 5. It is an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the County of Bullitt has realized unbudgeted receipts from the Federal Grant Fund 07. Be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, the budget for fiscal year 2020-2021 is amended to A, increase the receipts of the Federal Grant Fund 07 by $941,869.73 to include unbudgeted receipts from account code 07, federal funds by $941,869.73. Section B is to increase the expenditure accounts by account code 01. Description is the general fund by the amount of $551,927.46, and account code 09, description EMS, in the amount of $389,942.27. And please note, the amendment is in summary form. However, you may request to view the amendment in its entirety in the County Treasurer's Office during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The amounts adjusted, the receipts and expenditure accounts in Section 1 are for governmental purposes only. And this is the first reading of the Bullitt County, given in Bullitt County, Kentucky on this 19th day of January, 2021. No action is requested.
Thank you, Kenan.
Thank you, Judge.
Any questions, gentlemen? Okay. All right. We have action requested to, you have an attached sheet. It seems like we hire as many paramedics as we lose. It's sort of a round and round circle. It's just the nature of the beast. There's an attached list for basically all paramedics and a EMTA and an EMT and an EMTA. And I will make the motion to hire the attached list. There's 6 hires to the EMS service.
I'll second it.
Judge.
Okay, I have multiple seconds to hire the attached list as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none. Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rahal,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Judge,
Mitchell,
if I may, can I get that list forwarded to me, please?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
we will. No worries. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you all. Okay, the second one is we're hiring
Thank you. Sorry.
we need to hire a full-time temporary. We have at the animal shelter at a rate of $12.75 an hour. They haven't decided who they wanted to hire yet. We ran it in the Facebook and other forms of media. So because the one lady's going to be out on leave due to pregnancy. And I'm gonna make the motion that we approve them to hire a temporary permanent person to replace her while she's out.
Second.
Got a second by Magistrate Logston. Any discussion? Hearing none. Sam, call the roll, please.
Mr. Rahal,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Candy, you're the Zoom guru. Do we have any sign-in speakers?
Yes, sir. Perry from Mark 12 Ministries wants to speak.
Okay, Perry, can you unmute yourself and
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, and magistrates. I just wanted to address a few things quickly. Update with the White Flag Shelter that we opened up this past week with an abundance of community support, but mostly just community support. And so we've got the shelter opened, and we were able to kind of skirt the restrictions that have been put on by the state for Corona and COVID. And that is the reason why we are not hosting it in the Mercy Hill Church this year. And so in the lack of being able to get into a facility, or there being any facilities open throughout our entire county, we were graciously donated some Army tents. And so we're housing our homeless in Army tents this winter to keep them safe, and hoping not to have anyone pass or die because of exposure this winter. And with that, I just want to kind of call to action our county. We need to inspire our community to actually be the salt of the earth. What I mean by that is to actually be different in a good way, not in a bad way. Right now, the Bullitt County, being one of the largest counties in Kentucky, is the only county surrounding Jefferson County that does not have a full-time homeless shelter. Oldham County has one, Shelby County, Spencer, Nelson, Hardin, all have homeless county and or homeless shelters and homeless resources. It's time as a county that we look into that and put that as a priority. What we've seen nationally and also in the state of Kentucky is that homelessness is increasing by about 80% due to the coronavirus. And this is due to the lack of jobs, restaurants being closed down, single moms not being able to, educate their children on Zoom and also hold a job. Our phone is ringing off the hook daily for assistance and help. We provided, as well as Jenny at Turnaround Center, she provided almost 25,000 meals last year. So far this year, we've provided nearly 9,000 meals, as well as assistance to 136 families in our county. That is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. We're afraid that we are at a tipping point as a community. We have no resources, and yet we have a growing amount of people that are getting ready to become homeless because of loss of job, loss of income. I mean, and most of these people are only still able to stay where they're at right now because of the president's executive order to stop evictions, and then Governor Beshear's follow up that in the state. So we're at a tipping point. So with that, I did have a few questions about the budget, and I had intended to email this all out, but as you see, this is the 2019 budget. There's the line item down there that I have highlighted, which is our general welfare, which from 2019, 2020 to this fiscal year of 2020-21, we actually dropped nearly $1,000 in that. We see contributions going to Room at the Inn, Housing First, and the History Museum. Again, Mark 12, we are asking, how do we apply for monies through the county? We've been trying to find this out for nearly a year and a half, and how we can get monies from the county to support the ministries that we are doing. Also, we wanted to know, what are the requirements to get those monies? I'm not sure where Room at the Inn is right now, but it came to our attention, and I wanted to share this with you, that we've approved monies as a county to an organization that was dissolved by the IRS effective May of 2000. And so Room at the Inn was able to be a part of the 2021 budget when they were no longer actually viewed by the IRS as a 501c3 or an organization. And so I'm just asking, from an accountability standpoint, as a county, what are we looking at and who we partner up with? And also, what are we going to do as far as putting a stake in the ground of how we're going to help those in our community? We know that we're at about 80,000 in our community, and we're one of the fastest growing counties in the state. Mount Washington and Shepherdsville are two of the largest, or of the 5 fastest growing cities. And again, we don't have resources. We're the only county without a shelter. We've got to change that. Mark 12 is our mantle. We want to change that. I'm asking for the support of our county. And I'm going to be going to every city and asking for support and how we can get this to happen. I will say, and I want to remind everyone, when A&E made the documentary of 60 Days in Narco Land, they didn't choose LA County. They didn't choose Jefferson County. They didn't choose Hamilton County, where Cincinnati is. They chose Bullitt County. And we need to take pride in our community and say, how do we change what was shown to millions of viewers across America, that we don't have resources, that we are a resource desert? Rick McCovens, the chief of police for Shepherdsville, posted on All About Shepherdsville today that the homeless are starting to show up because it's winter. It's not because it's winter. The homeless are here, and they have been here. We had the Census Bureau count over 45 homeless individuals, and those were the ones that showed up. We know of right now in Shepherdsville of over 120 homeless individuals. That's just Shepherdsville. That's not Mount Washington. That's not Lebanon Junction. That's not Brooks. We have a problem that is getting ready to get much, much bigger. It's time for us to stop being a resource desert and trying to push Bullitt County citizens off to Jefferson County or down to Hardin County. And it's time for us as a community to take responsibility for our neighbors and lovingly care for them and help them get back on their feet. We had 100% success with our Pathway Home program this past spring. We had 20 individuals that were homeless that came on board with our mentors and were able to get into sustainable, lasting housing. And 3 of those people are volunteering in the shelter right now. So they have gone from sleeping on the cots to watching over those who are homeless. What a beautiful story that is to tell. And I want to tell that story. And it's time, though, as a community and as a county, that we stand up and say, you know, we're not going to stand for homelessness, but it's not because we're farming the homelessness out away from their homes. These are people that grew up in Bullitt County. These are people that went to school with you guys. These are people that went to school with your kids. And we need to help them get to the next level. And so I'm a little bit passionate today, mainly because we have asked and we have asked. We've been polite and we've knocked on doors. And this winter, no one in our community took the stand to step up. And it is time for us as a community, a growing community with a homeless population that is only going to get higher unless we do something to make this the time. 2021 needs to be the year that we make a stand and say, you know what, we need resources, we need to help these individuals, and we need to get them to the next level so that they get off the streets and we can get them into housing. I appreciate your time. If you guys have any questions, I'm free to answer those. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Perry. Any questions, gentlemen?
How many people are you serving right now a night, Barry?
So right now a night that are actually staying in the tents, we've gotten just a few, just about 2 or 3 that have come to the shelter so far. They're not, I'll be honest, it is not homeless cold yet. We opened the White Flag shelter early once it starts getting down to 35, because we know it takes some time to build trust with those who are living behind Parakeet Springs. We know that they're trespassing, and we want to change that. We know that there's guys living in First Street Park. We know that there are camps that are behind the trailer parks in Saltwell, and we go and minister and we take food to those individuals. We're trying to encourage them to stop trespassing, to stop doing what they're doing and come and stay in the shelter. But I'll be real honest, they don't have trust or confidence in our community. And that's the biggest part, is if we don't build trust with them, and if they're afraid to come in the city because a police officer is going to pick them up and drive them to Louisville and drop them off in the middle of downtown. I mean, I would be afraid of that if I had no way to get back to my home. This is their home. Their parents live here. Their kids are here. And they're afraid that they're going to get picked up because they walk into our shelter and get dropped downtown Louisville, where they could get killed by a gang. And so that's the problem. That's the biggest problem we're running into this year. They don't trust. They don't want to come in. And by the way, it's like they're looking at the Army tents that are like, well, how much does the community really care about me? I mean, they can't even put a shelter together. They got Army tents with propane heaters in them. And so we haven't had the influx. Now we're still serving 30 to 40 a week in dinner, serving meals to those who are in need in our fixed budgets. And we're continuing to take out those King's boxes, is what we call them, which are 5 meals for a family of 4 for like a week. And we're still delivering those to almost 136 families in our county. Well, it's mostly Shepherdsville. I mean, we can't even get out to the entire county because we just don't have enough volunteers.
Okay.
Thanks for the question, Sean. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Perry. Okay, well, at this time, Magistrate Mitchell.
Yes, I'm good for now. Appreciate it.
Okay. Magistrate Logston.
I think I'm pretty good overall. I do agree with Perry. I think at some place there needs to be a some type of location for those individuals that are displaced. I know it's a tough situation. I read the comment that McCubbin had put out there today as well. And I personally have had 3 businesses in Shepherdsville. That's not my district, but reached out about concerns about what the individuals are, what resources are provided for them after they leave your place, Barry. I know auto dealership and a health clinic, and then one other one I can't think of, but there's been 3 that's reached out just about concerns of the location. So I know you're doing whatever you can do in order to try to make something happen. So I definitely feel like maybe there's more, a more suitable location, but it's a double-bladed sword. I know I read his comment this morning too. And that there's the count. I think there's a lot of people really divided on what to do with the homeless population. I think the biggest problem data-wise that we've looked at the last couple of years that I've been here is allocating a lot of funds for somewhere when there is only 2 or 3 people that's taking advantage of what you've got right now. I think if we've seen the numbers larger, it might be more awakening. But I know that it's an issue, and it's something that's hard to talk about because a lot of people, half the people feel like the more you provide for homeless, the more crime's going to come up, and then the other half feels the other way. So it's a tough situation. It really is. I commend you for trying to help. I do know that there are concerns about the location right now. So I do think that it is something worth talking about to find maybe a suitable place that works for everybody. But thank you for what you do, and it's a tough spot you're in. And I will go back to I don't know. I'll have to talk to the judge and other magistrates about accountability for those different organizations where that money goes. But I did just look up and I seen that Room in the Inn, they had filed their articles of incorporation and up until 2019. So I'm not sure what data you've got but we'll look into that, I'm sure. But appreciate your time, and Judge, I don't have anything else.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Mr. Laswell, Magistrate Laswell.
Yes. I want to thank Perry for all the work that he does. And thank goodness there's somebody out there to do that. But we'll look in and see what kind of relief we can get there. Thank you.
Anything else, Magistrate Laswell?
No.
Okay, Magistrate Rahill.
Just the thing we was talking about today, Judge, about this COVID relief money. We need to see if we can use this for our community, even in that. But the big thing I'd like to see, Perry, and the Room at the Inn, and I think there's another organization out there. We need to get along. You know what I'm saying? We can't have like 7 different homeless people helping people when we can't get along. And that's the biggest thing. And we've all seen it in court. There's got to be a way we can unite on it. So if we can figure out on this COVID money, if we can design it, I know I've been working with Jenny down there, and she needs a lot of relief. She's helping tons of people, and you guys. So I think that should be on top of our agenda to see, we get this $900,000 from COVID money. Surely to God, we can use it for our community somehow, some way. So I'd like to really look into that. But yeah, we need to all come together as united instead of having some differences, for sure. But no, I appreciate it, Perry. I appreciate you guys. We've got a lot of, we're working through issues and we're solving as fast as we can. But yeah, absolutely. If we could get to that, for sure. But no, thank you guys. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a lot better than it was last year, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I want to jump in. Let me jump in real quick. I haven't talked to Pastor Rogers, his wife. I've done some work with them, but of course, Carl had passed away recently, so I don't know even what their plans are moving forward. It's kind of been a little early to talk to her about necessarily what her intentions are moving forward, but I know that I know he was the driving force behind that. I know she was very, very involved with that, but he was the one in the buses and the vans and getting them to point A to point B. So it's going to create a void there regardless, I think, of what she does. So as Magistrate Rahill says, that's been something I know we've talked about the last few years. There's a lot of different groups that pop up and want to help. But as you know, Perry, you've got sign-up sheets and stuff for people there. It takes a lot of people working together to make it happen, and it takes a lot of volunteers. So I'd encourage I'd encourage maybe some type of meeting in the future or something where everybody can get on the same page.
Okay. And any other comments, gentlemen? And in my closing comments, remember tomorrow is the inauguration day of our 46th president, Mr. Joe Biden. And also along a couple of lines here, Perry, to help you a little bit, and I hope you do realize that we have fed over 101,000 meals to our seniors in need during this crisis as well. Close to $600,000 of that 900,000 that we got back, of which a lot of it is already targeted for our EMS folks to keep our 85,000 people safe and healthy in this community. And this is one thing, Perry, and the magistrates and everyone on this call, you need to beat the drum with. I've been in dialogue with literally the governor's task force on the vaccine. And their impressions of Bullitt County is this: we're still a community of 15 to 18,000 people in a small suburb of Louisville. What's got to change? And all of y'all on this call, you have the opportunity to be able to make that message loud and clear that we are 85,000 people. Right now, I have 500 vacancies at McKesson. They pay $20.75 an hour starting out, 500. They've employed 700 people at their new facility here in Bullitt County. They're going to 1,200 at a minimum. So I hear a lot on here, and this is not meant to be a lecture, but just statements of facts. We have a new business who's came to this community, who to this community here in the near future will be as large to this community as the Ford Motor Company is to Jefferson County. There's tons of opportunities there. And Perry, to help you a little bit, we gave the building to Housing First, Kentuckiana Works, to help get these folks out on the street, to, let's put it this way, to reinvent themselves to where they can get back into the community, to be productive citizens of our community as well. So we're here to help. If you can gather them all up to put them in the same room again, like you have once before already, we will see what we can do with all this. And again, the latest and greatest on the vaccine, we'll know more at 11:30 today. I sent the correspondence out to Secretary Gray, who's in charge of the logistics of distributing it, of how we have offered our fairgrounds, which is a quarter mile from where all the vaccine on the Eastern Seaboard is stored for the Moderna virus. Also, the 2 fire departments have volunteered their facilities as drive-through, Zonton and Southeast as well. So we're doing everything we can to get mass immunization here in this community. But until this stigmatism ends, in the world I came from, on the private side, most all those leaders only ever saw 245. They don't really understand what our community is about. So you need to get out and beat the drums to share with them that we are a community of 85,000 people. And the people in the state government absolutely knows, because we were left out of the vaccine distribution all the way around. We were told that our folks in Bullitt County had to go to Jefferson County, and that's absurd when we have this many folks. So we need to we need to be a voice that we are a large community and one of the fastest growing communities, not only in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, but on the Eastern Seaboard. So that's my smear for today. At this time, Dennis, what time is it?
Well, it's almost time, but I want to say something else and everything there. The lady that took care of the census, has there been any reports on what actually our census county is? Because when I talked to her, I asked her and everything, that's the lady that headed up the census here in Bullitt County. She was projecting that we'd come in at 108,000 people. Now she was the one that was heading up that thing, but I wondered, have you heard anything from the census and everything? Kevin's got to get with us and everything, or start working up the situation for the redistrict and everything. And that's something we've got to do this year. But I didn't know if you had heard anything on any official count or whatever and everything. And that's just a question I got before we adjourn.
No, and to answer your question, Magistrate Mitchell, our office hasn't received anything yet on the
Okay.
official count. But when you, it's like what you say, when you divide the number in the $36 fee that was put on here 6 or 7 years ago for the 911 fee, those kind of numbers add up pretty quick. That when you collect $1.2 million on that fee and divide it by 36 and multiply it by 3, we're over 100,000 people.
I think so.
So it's, and that's a reality, but that's a message that we need to keep sending. We need to send that message to our state representatives and our federal folks, because we are a large community and a fast growing community. And anyway, thank you for that question, Magistrate Mitchell. But again, what time is it?
Hey, it's time to adjourn. I'll put that in form of a motion.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
I got a second I got a motion to adjourn by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Third District Magistrate Laswell. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Logston,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mr. Rahal.
Yes.
Motion carried to adjourn.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you,
Perry.
guys.